Welcome into the State of Sports podcast. No Oscar Pistorius this week, or however his name is pronounced. We had too many NBA moves, so we decided to do a weekly wrap up. We're going to talk about the changing landscape of the NBA like it does every offseason. So on our weekly wrap up, we'll go MLB, we'll do some NFL news, then we'll go over the NBA stuff, and then Morgan is going to round out with our picks for UFC. By our picks, we're all riding with Morgan because Nick and I don't know as much as Morgan does. So I think we're comfortable with that. Before we get into it, we're going to recap my question of the week. I stole Nick's segment. And what was the biggest free agency move in history? And we do have some answers. Stash Petty, the floor is yours.
Yeah. We had David Ortiz to the Sox in 03. 1.25 million. Changed Red Sox history.
Sure did.
Obviously. Brady to the Bucks was a common answer.
Yeah.
Pretty tough to dispute it.
Yeah.
Pretty sure the general consensus was the Bucks don't even come close to ever winning a championship without that happening. So
you don't believe in
except
James?
like back in the day when they won with who was
there?
Warren Sapp.
Yeah. I believe in Jameis Winston.
Reggie Jackson to the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty big move. 2000 Alex Rodriguez with the Texas Rangers for 252 million. I believe
that was Santa,
at
right?
the time that was the largest deal in sports history.
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah, that was Santa.
And now we got NBA rookies signing for 250 million for their rookie extensions,
which is fucking crazy.
It's insanity. We'll get to the NBA talk though. Let's start with MLB. And I did text the group about my thoughts on these jerseys, but I do agree with both of you because that's why I didn't text. I think this is one thing that all three of us can agree on. The atrocity of the Padre City Connect jerseys. Holy shit.
They're terrible.
What were they thinking?
They thought they were Miami, maybe?
Those are bad for even Miami.
I saw somebody say they went from UPS to Taco Bell.
I did see that.
We had I think it was Hank who chimed in and said that they look like they're sponsored by Arizona Iced Tea.
That's a good one.
I think they're terrible.
You spill out my drink if you're listening on the podcast. That's great.
I was talking with Nick from SOS, or not the SOS, the Rounding Third yesterday, and him and I were talking about we still have 15 more of these to go because every team in the league is getting one, and so far none of them have been hits.
I don't mind Milwaukee's. I know Nick doesn't like the hats, but
I think the hats are terrible
for Milwaukee. I like the baby blue. I think it looks good.
But they've
really
done
not
more worse than they've done good.
Sure, I agree. Yeah.
They're 2 for however many they've released. I don't even know how many.
I mean, is it not? Hey man, they're due. It's baseball. You know what I mean? They're due. They're due for a couple of good jerseys in a row here. You know, start getting it rolling. Try to get back up to 300 for good jerseys.
You know what the thing is though is, it's back when you were a kid in school and they're like, hey, make a design for this thing and incorporate a lot of stuff from the town, and they're just incorporating everything. It's I still only think the Nationals are good, and
the Nationals are really good.
I don't know what other ones I really like.
Fair. All right, well,
but these are terrible.
Let's move on to our my favorite baseball day of the year was yesterday, I believe. Or was
Bobby Bonilla Day?
Bobby Bonilla Day. 13
yesterday.
More years on the contract. Happy Bobby Bonilla Day to everybody. You know, every time, we get around the 4th of July, this day pops up, and it is, a magical day in baseball history that this man continues to get paid over $1 million every year. What a king.
I might die before he doesn't get paid.
Oh, I'm 100% going to get paid.
We got 13 more years of this. Jesus.
I mean, my countdown is literally how many days out from Atlanta is Nick and I from getting down there? We got a month and a half. That's my countdown.
That's it.
So yeah, happy Bobby Bonilla Day. Oh yeah, by the way, everybody, the SOS podcast is getting together for the first time in years with all three of us. We're going to be down in Atlanta visiting Morgan. Got to go to a couple of Braves games. So we'll be able to, take some photos and do some good content down there. So that will be a fun time.
Who do we have? We have the Mets and the Astros.
Mets and the Astros. Get to see Polar Pete, and then I'm bringing a trash can to the other game.
Hopefully we get to see DeGrom or Scherzer.
That'd be sick.
That'd be great.
Care about Polar Pete if we get.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with Polar Pete. I'm also happy to just go to a different stadium for baseball. Check it off the list. I got some good ones. I got Fenway. I got Wrigley, and I got friggin' San Fran. Like that's like
San Fran's a good one.
Yeah.
I'll have Anaheim soon, I'm sure.
Yep. So I'm excited for them.
We almost stopped Milwaukee.
We almost did. They weren't in town. If they were, we would have went.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. But let's move on. The Orioles had their first winning month since 2017. Shout out Addy Roachman. Adley. Excuse me. Adley. His mustache looks phenomenal, by the way.
I was this was also yesterday talking to the other Nick. And I was saying he has that like Cal Ripken type essence to him, or like the Jeter essence.
Yeah,
like,
very.
He's a built-in leader.
Yeah.
And he just makes everyone around him better. And it's easier to do, especially when you're the catcher of the team.
Yeah, for sure. And you can definitely tell like he cares about his team. You know what I mean?
But they've got some young talent on that team. Cedric Mullins is tearing it up. Ryan
nasty Cedric Mullins is nasty in MLB The Show, right?
Yeah.
The team's gonna be good in real life in like 2 years.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, about time.
I like seeing the Orioles.
I like the Orioles unis. They got good unis. I mean,
first winning season or month since 2017.
I know.
just for fourth place or last place.
That they may not finish last in the division this year.
Maybe. I doubt it. I still think they're gonna finish last.
They're still shitty,
but not as last as you thought.
Fair.
It'll kind of just be all that for a drop of blood. I don't know. They'll still be last. Like.
All right. Speaking of Thanos characters, this man O'Neal Cruz hit an absolute fucking rocket out of the Pirate Stadium. He's by far the coolest player in baseball right now.
He's pretty good.
To dead center.
The dead center, just absolute piss. He pissed.
I don't even do that shit in the show.
No.
Have any of us gotten his card in the show
games.
I mean, I don't know how he's not a diamond in the show already. Like this dude is incredible.
He's only a silver.
I mean,
that'll change next year.
Yeah, the fact that he's like hit a ball like over 120 miles an hour exit velocity is disgusting.
Pretty sure he threw that ball to first base.
7.
Now, like, here's the thing, and I know we bring him up a lot, but do we think if LeBron James trained his entire life to play baseball,
no,
he could hit a ball that hard?
I mean, he would have to hit the ball, and I don't know if he has that capability.
No.
I mean, you never
absolutely
know.
not.
Does he have the strength to hit a home run? Yeah, obviously.
Well, I mean, like if he trained his entire life like O'Neal, it's just like I'm just thinking like the height wise, like that's insane. Like 6'7" and just like raking.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
He's a creative player.
And he's fast as shit.
Super fast. And his arm is super strong.
You want to talk about a 5'2" player? He's definition of it.
Yeah, he's incredible. So I'm
I'm
excited to see what team he'll get traded to.
You know, we've been overdue in the sports world for a absolutely career-ending injury, so it'll probably be fucking him, and we'll all get sad.
Why would you say
that's Tatis. He's probably.
Oh yeah, Tatis. He's probably done. Oh, Bryce Harper, didn't he get injured too?
Broke his thumb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mookie
I mean, he did break his thumb. Should have got his hand out of the way.
Good eye.
Yeah, definitely a good eye. All right. Let's get into a little drama for MLB. We got Freddie Freeman's drama.
Yeah.
We had a conversation about this in the text message, and we want to.
Nick and I had a conversation.
I elaborated a little bit.
Yeah, obviously nobody knows what we said to each other.
Yeah,
it's nothing negative, obviously, but like, I think the more you read up on it, look, both parties were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like they both went for what they thought was best for themselves, but there was information withheld, which is shitty. So they said the reason he withheld the information is because he knew he would have stayed if he knew that information, which is kind of shitty.
Agent's job is to get his client the most money.
True.
Right.
But if he knew him on a personal level.
Yeah, but none of them are personal. They're agents.
But the fact that the information came out that he said, the fact that the information came out that he said if he knew about that deal that his agent knew he would have stayed, it's kind of shitty.
Do we believe that though? Or is this just Freddie Freeman trying to get good press?
I have no reason not to believe it. The dude has no history of being like a liar. Like we've never heard stories before where we're like, oh, this guy's always crying wolf and shit. So I have no reason not to.
I'd buy it, but they were probably gonna have to end up matching whatever the Dodgers paid.
Yeah, I don't overly care for Freddie Freeman, to be honest with you. After like the stories came out about him telling Acuna to play the game the right way and shit like that. So I don't really give a shit about Freddie Freeman. Who fucking who? Go cry and play in LA with your millions of dollars. Like, it's okay. You'll be okay.
Like I said, he'll be forgotten in the lore of this baseball history in like 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, the video now too of like Matt Olson doing the chop and hitting Freddie Freeman on first is so funny. Like, I took your job, bro. And Matt Olson's been raking this year too. He's been having a decent year.
Yeah, I mean, Freddie was very replaceable. Everybody just down here in Atlanta loves Freddie.
He had a pretty good season last year.
Yeah, he's just not nearly as cool as Ronald Acuna. Matter of fact.
Well, no.
And probably not nearly as talented. And, we just go down the list. But, yeah, interesting that stuff came out, fired his agent. So, I mean, it's not like he's going to have anything happen at this point. He'll just stay in LA and, I guess, be miserable.
Money. Yeah, take your multi-million.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my agent got me too much money. I feel bad.
That's funny. All right, we had Justin Verlander. He's the first at having a career year coming off of Tommy John at the crisp age of like 39 or 40, right?
I think 38.
38. Oh, my
But
fault.
he's like 10-2 with like a 2.2 ERA. Like, he's having a ridiculous year.
I will say one thing about these surgeries, whether it's like NFL players with ACLs or MLB players with Tommy John, it's just a fucking oil change.
But yeah, they come back like robots. Like,
it's they have it down to such a perfect science now, like especially with ACLs, like in the NFL, like Jameson Williams, the kid from Alabama, tore his ACL in the national championship game.
He's gonna be running, right?
He's already like out running like 4.4s again. It's like, dude, like, that is how many? I mean, January, so he's 6 months out, and he's running like a 4.4.
I think that's partly Adrian Peterson.
I mean, he really
because he kind of set the bar because he was a freak.
He tore his ACL,
but it's because his rehab and his work ethic to get back.
Came back 8 months later and had an MVP season
when it was like a year and a half timeline.
It was, like an ACL. I've had one, and I'll be going in for my surgery for the second one August 30th. Like I felt for the first one, I felt 18 months to feel normal, like doing stuff again. Obviously, I'm not a professional athlete by any means, but like still, the fact that a normal person, it feels, takes 18 months to feel normal, and these pro athletes are coming back 8 months after an ACL.
They're shooting them full of shit that you'll never see.
What I mean, sure. That being said, if anybody has any info on that to help recover from injury, come my way. I'd be more than happy to try. Is there anything else baseball related you guys want to talk about?
The Cubs beat the Red Sox yesterday. Eat shit.
It's a non-factor.
Okay.
1-0 against the Sox this year.
I am.
So what are they at? 2 wins now?
Listen, relevancy doesn't matter here. It's head to head on the podcast. We're 1-0.
The Cubs are like below 400.
You know what, man? I respect it. I mean,
they're probably like 412.
If anybody's learned anything these past couple of weeks about Morgan, and whenever Morgan's team wins, that he's just a piss poor winner.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Cubs are 403. My bad.
You got 31 wins.
Yeah.
Oh man.
In the National League.
Yeah. National League's tough.
The National League Central, super tough division.
That's like having 13 cents going to a grocery store. Who gives a shit? You got nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Get back in your car and leave. You can't buy anything here.
Whatever. 1-0, bitch.
I mean, I bet you could probably.
How many wins did you say they had?
Against the Sox?
One. No, against everybody.
Morgan doesn't care about any other wins.
31? Is that what you said? 31?
Yeah.
Okay, the Orioles are better. So.
Okay.
Go Baltimore.
I fully expected that this year. I didn't expect the Cubs to be good.
The Mariners are better. The Tigers are better.
Okay. None of this hurts my. So what you're saying is the Red Sox could barely beat it.
This content's hilarious. Nick's just scrolling down to see who has a better record. Yeah,
we only got the Reds and the
I gotta say, Nick, it's the monotone voice. Cubs or Orioles are better.
You guys lost to the 5th worst team in the league, so.
Yeah, but like 6-5. It wasn't like the Cubs ran him out of the stadium.
Listen, 6-5, 10-7, a win.
Hey, it doesn't matter if you're by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
Tell it to the Brewers yesterday. Who do they beat? 16-3.
Ooh,
that's a win.
That is a win. Okay.
Cubs also won.
All right, guys, break it up. You guys can stop the pissing contest. All right. Let's get over to Mr. Nasty. The only NFL news that we got, we're approaching training camp, so we know this NFL news is going to start ramping up here. So that is exciting for me personally, as the NFL's my favorite sport. But Deshaun Watson, the case has concluded, the disciplinary case. We will probably have a verdict this week. I know we put out the poll on the live stream. What are we thinking?
So I heard rumors that it's going to be like an indefinite year-long suspension.
That's what the NFL wants.
But for what, though? Like, why would it be a year?
Because they are technically a private business and violating the code of conduct.
Yeah, I know. But, like, you realize other people have, like, punched their wives in elevators, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey. All right. Well, we'll get to the domestic violence portion of this podcast when we talk about Miles Bridges. All right.
So if he gets a year for this, what would that equate to with Michael Vick coming back to play football after he killed like 60 dogs?
It is time.
Their punishment in the NFL doesn't make any fucking sense.
No,
that's why they have an arbitrator now, a third person to decide it.
No, it's an independent arbitrator who sends his recommendation to Roger Goodell, but Roger Goodell has the final say. So
I think they put an amount of games in a
first off, it's her recommendation. It is a woman. I want that on the record. So
these games are picked at random. They don't fucking know what they're doing.
He's probably got a wheel in his fucking office and he spins it. 2 games, 6 games, 8 games.
I mean, Ray Rice got really lucky to start off, huh?
Yeah.
So we should expect Ruggs back anytime.
You know what, man? I think Ruggs is going to come into the league, just like, he's going to come back into the league just how he went out of the league, speeded.
Yeah, I think if anybody can get back as quick as he could,
I mean, we've said it multiple times on this podcast, world-class speed.
I mean, his breakaway speed's unmatched.
Unmatched. I mean, he's got to get by the. Yeah, never mind. I was
what's crazy? I saw a card of him that was like whatever style the card was. It had like a speedometer on it, and it said like deadly speed or some shit like that, and it was from like a few years back. And I was like,
did it sell?
I don't know, but that's a fucking.
Can I buy it now?
Probably.
All right. Yeah. So I think I'm going to be curious. I don't think he gets suspended for the year. I think it's like 8 or 10 years. To be honest,
less than 8, and I win again.
I think it's going to be less, but
you guys only have one Henry Ruggs card there. Sad.
Damn. Sad.
All right.
I know that Baker Mayfield's going to be setting foot out on that field, though.
He's not.
That's all I know.
It's not going to happen. You're going to owe me a jersey.
No.
Baker's, talked about that recently. He said, I think both sides are ready to move on. There's been no communication. And
there's been no communication.
Correct.
So it seems like they're making progress.
It's the best communication they've had in months.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is true. All right. Let's get over to the NBA. The NBA, like every 4th of July, decides to steal every sports headline with their free agency. And the biggest move of the NBA offseason, I'm kidding. Kevin Durant has demanded a trade out of Brooklyn.
Smart.
Where does he end up? And for how much? And how much would you give up for a 34-year-old Kevin Durant?
I would give up maybe a first and a player or 2.
Okay, so with that in mind, Rudy Gobert went for 4 first-round picks.
Oh, I know what he went for.
To buyer's market.
I don't know.
All right, so that's what you think he should go for. That's what you would give up. What do you think he's going to go for?
maybe 2 firsts. I don't think the Nets' leverage here isn't great.
What do you mean? He has 4 years of a contract.
I don't think
there's no player option. There's no team option. You get 4 years of Kevin Durant wherever he goes. The extension just kicked in like yesterday or like the day he demanded the trade. If you're Brooklyn, you have all the leverage in the world. Like, yeah, sure, you want to like do right by KD for like your superstars, but like this owner has come out and said like I'm sick of superstars running my team. That's why this whole shit
to the NBA.
That's why this whole shit happened with Kyrie. Like, first off, that owner's a fucking idiot. I just want that on the fucking record. Like, you have Kevin Durant, who's probably realistically a top 3 player in the NBA. On a given night, he can be the best player in the NBA. I think that's fair if he's, Kevin Durant and he's motivated. And you have Kyrie Irving, and then you let James Harden walk for Ben Simmons, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? You like couldn't just like swallow another year of Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant to run it back to see what you could get out of it. Like, I just don't understand that, because like this is like the owner's decision to like not extend Kyrie, not be committed to Kyrie. So that's why Kevin Durant wants out.
Well, I think they know Kyrie wants to leave too. So.
Well, Kyrie wanted to leave because they wouldn't extend him. He wants to play with Kevin Durant. That's like, I still want to play with Kevin, but if you're not going to extend me here, then fuck you. I'll go play somewhere else.
Get rid of everybody, and Kevin Durant and Kyrie can both go to the Lakers. Get rid of everyone. Give it all for one more run.
I've seen so many memes of like LeBron being in the locker room. Have you guys ever seen the meme for Snowfall? The main character of Snowfall?
No.
Or he lists names and he's like him, her, bodies. It's like LeBron talking about everybody in the locker room getting traded to Brooklyn. Just like
Anthony Davis gone.
It's not going to happen. I'm not gonna put that image in my mind because
you don't want to bring back the era of the super team.
I mean, they don't even win the championship though. If it's the 3 of them, they don't.
Probably not. I don't see the 3 of them.
What do you guys think the odds of Kevin going back to Golden State is?
Not high.
Not high at all. I'd put it less than 10%.
I think Golden State winning was the nail in the coffin for him. I think he said, fuck this. I need to go to a team where I can actually win a championship. That's why I requested a team to both 1 seeds or trade to both 1 seeds.
Like a Suns are an option. The Heat, maybe.
Suns aren't going to give up on Booker. And I don't think, and he's not playing on a Heat team. He already came out and said, I won't play on a Heat team that doesn't have Jimmy Butler, Bam, or Kyle Lowry. So who's behind me going to trade? You can take Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero, Brooklyn. They'd be great.
We'll throw him over with Zion's overpaid ass.
We'll get to Zion.
Sleeper team is Dallas.
Sleeper, okay.
Jalen Brunson leaves him the space to bring in Durant. They got to figure out the assets to send, but him and Luka.
Do you just give up like 8 first-round picks to have him and Luka play?
For Dallas, I would do that to get Durant in there with Luka.
I literally just pulled 8 out of my ass just to see what you would say, Morgan.
Luka right now,
and obviously with these first-round picks, like there's pick swaps. You know what I mean? There's protected picks and all that stuff. So like, if I was Dallas and Mark Cuban, I mean,
but if you're gonna have Luka and Kevin Durant, you're gonna be in the playoffs. You're probably gonna get to at least the Western Conference Finals, which makes your pick at what 27, which is you're probably you're in the range. Let's just say even if an injury happens to one or the other, because Kevin Durant is injury prone. It's true.
So you're in the range between 20 to 30 for the next 4 years with Kevin Durant and Luka. So then you're giving up 4 years after that of first round picks. If it is 8, obviously, I don't think it's gonna be 8. I think 4. No. I think 4 will probably be it. 4 or 5
years, maybe.
So I think I like Dallas. I like that more. I didn't think of that. I've heard of Toronto. Heard Toronto's a big one.
Why?
Kind of like a sleeper team. I don't know. But the thing is anybody that like trades away assets for KD, like you're gonna give up, so much depth and shit, and it's like, I don't know.
But if he goes to Dallas, we'll see if it's a Kevin Durant problem, because Mark Cuban's probably one of the most respected and well-liked owners in the league.
I don't think it's a Kevin Durant problem. I think Kevin Durant is legitimately just a guy that just wants to hoop. I just want to play ball.
We'll see.
I know Nick's thoughts on Kevin Durant.
Is.
Thinks he's a snake.
I know he is.
All right. While we're on the Nets, I do want to talk about this man, Carrie Irving. Where does he end up?
Cares. Yeah, I don't know.
This man has openly said, "I'm going to the Lakers." I don't care how it happens.
He probably is
Then
not.
why the fuck did he opt in? He could have just opted out, went to the Lakers, and signed for $6 million.
Yeah, well, he's losing 30 mil. You gonna do that? Lose 30 mil?
I think it's because Kyrie Irving's not a smart person. So.
I think he.
I mean, shit, he couldn't even graduate from Duke, obviously.
All right. I couldn't graduate from Duke, so what is none of us could. So what does that make all of us? Just as smart as Kyrie Irving.
Well, let's hope he decides to fucking go somewhere where he can at least play his own home games.
At least we know the Earth isn't fucking flat.
Listen, here's the thing. There's no mask mandate anymore. There's nothing. There's no vaccine mandate. He's gonna be able to play wherever. It doesn't matter. Like
Unless
that
he goes to Canada.
That's what's
still a thing in Canada.
It is, but they're not going to trade him to Toronto. And Toronto wouldn't trade for him because why would you trade for somebody that can't play half your games?
But I don't know. Why would Brooklyn do that? Why would you keep him?
Well, like that, the thing, he could play. He can't play this upcoming season. There's no more vaccine mandate. So if you're Brooklyn, why didn't you just run it the fuck back? Like your owner's dumb.
Because he's flaky and the dude likes to take PTO.
Who cares?
In the middle of a dude, you have 8 months off.
Yeah.
Go take it when you need to then.
You have like 3 months off.
Whatever.
Well, like that's like what he is. You knew that when you signed him and got Kevin Durant. That was your cross to bear. Like you knew that was going to happen. So like I just don't understand. It's like marrying somebody thinking that they're going to change, and it's like you didn't change, so I'm filing a divorce. So that's who the person was that you fucking married. Like you know, it's asinine to me.
I wouldn't give a shit where he goes. I just wouldn't want him on my team.
Oh, I mean, I'm so excited for him to play with LeBron again.
Like, it's almost like that line from Moneyball. Like,
franchise.
Like they're paying you to play against them. Like,
yeah. I mean, I don't even care if it ends super poorly in the Lakers. Just to see the boys back together. Hashtag father of three. Hashtag brotherhood. Hashtag
LeBron ain't in the fucking brotherhood.
What do you mean? I don't understand what Morgan's talking about. I don't understand your reference. Hashtag. Oh my god. Hashtag year 20. Hashtag Wash King. So excited.
Got the fuck out of the league.
I'm so excited for this to happen. But yeah, I think he ends
not
up.
Gonna
happen. He's gonna end up with the Lakers.
I don't know. I think that Lakers team is such a mess.
Yeah, it's a fucking disaster, dude.
Like they're playing fantasy basketball over there.
Bro,
so who can we fucking drop and pick up today?
Anthony Davis admitted that he hasn't shot a basketball in over like 3 months or whatever it was. What the fuck are you doing in your offseason?
Nothing.
Like
enjoying LA lifestyle.
Get better. Like it's cool that you hang out with Swag and FaZe Clan and the Nuke Squad boys, but it's like, dude, LeBron needs you. Like you gotta like get your shit together.
He got his title. He's good.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, I kind of do respect that in the same, I got my one title. I'm good, man. Right off into the sunset, I'm good.
Yep. He's got his title. He's got
nothing else to prove.
Like
nothing to prove. All right. You guys make some fair points. All right, let's continue down this. Jokic signs the biggest deal in NBA history. 6 years, $300 million.
Pretty crazy.
It was like 5 for like 260, but with the extension now or whatever, it's whatever.
Shout out to Nikola Jokic, 2-time MVP.
Back to back.
Yeah. I don't know if he should have over Embiid.
I don't know if he should have went back to back either, but I'm not going to sit here and say, didn't deserve it.
Yeah, good for him. So that's cool. Denver's made some interesting moves this offseason to try to get into contention. They got Porter Jr. coming back. They got Jamal Murray coming back. I'm curious to see how Denver's going to look next year.
Yeah, I am too, because I feel like they're right on the cusp.
I think so too, but
right on the cusp for a couple of years.
I know it's the same way I felt about like the Grizzlies, like all these past years. Like they're just like right there.
They're like a piece, like back with like when they had like Gasol and Conley, and that they're like one like wing scorer away from like.
I got one for you, Rudy Gay.
Rudy Gay, best 2K player of all time.
And that team back then, like Randolph and all them, it's like they were just like right there,
Yeah.
and then couldn't really put a finger on what the fuck they needed.
Yeah. True.
Something.
All right. Another move, speaking of Atlanta earlier in the podcast, Jonte Murray traded to the Atlanta Hawks. Now you have a backcourt of DeJounte Murray, all-star, and Trae Young, all-star.
And they still have John Collins.
And the biggest part about this is now Trae doesn't have to like bring the ball up the court every time.
No, he doesn't have to play make. He can just literally go and score.
He's going to be disgusting.
He's going to average 35 this year.
Him and I mean, DeJounte Murray is a lockdown defender too. So now like you can legitimately hide Trae Young on defense.
Yeah, it's what the word is Klay Thompson.
This is the Golden State recipe. Yeah. Like I was just about to say, like, this is a holy shit move for Atlanta. Like I think they're top 4 seed next year.
They're still talking about trading John Collins.
For what?
I don't know, but he's in the rumblings that he's getting traded down.
I've been hearing John Collins is going to get traded for the past 3 off seasons. Honestly, Herter got traded to Sacramento.
Yeah, it's because they have Capella, and they're like, oh, we don't really need both of them.
Capella stinks.
Yeah, but they only need the rebounding. They don't really need him to score.
That's true.
But yeah, this backcourt's nasty.
Yeah, I might be taking a trip down this winter to go watch that backcourt.
Sure. Yeah, you'll come down as many times as Nick to see me. So,
what do you want from me?
I don't know. You've seen Jack like 12 times.
Oh, all right. It's been like twice.
Sorry, Jack lives in LA.
Anyways,
it's a real shocker that nobody wants to go to Georgia more often.
Morgan, eat shit, okay? Anyways, Jalen Brunson to the Knicks. Knicks finally get their superstar free agent. How do we feel about the Knicks? It's really funny for me. I'll talk about it because B-Mart is B-Mart, close friend of all 3 of us, is a Knicks fan. And I sent him a funny meme that was like, this is Knicks fans celebrating that they signed Jalen Brunson. And it was the Pat Beverly on the table after they won the playoffs, like freaking out and like crying. And B-Mart was like, yo, B-Mart was like, that's so mean.
I think the Knicks are a non-factor.
I think he does help their offense. And like, obviously, but they just don't have that number 1 scorer.
You know who else helps their offense? That dude who Swiffers sweat off the fucking court when they fall down. They got nothing. The Knicks got nothing.
Not wrong.
Non-factor.
All right. I'll just said that very bluntly. We can move on.
Yeah.
Ja Morant signs the rookie NBA Supermax. Shout out to Ja. By the way, his post on Twitter after he signed it was just like dude sitting down with a bunch of like money around him, like in bands. Fire post.
He's the swaggiest player in the NBA.
So cool.
Plus, I mean, whenever they break out those old Grizzlies jerseys,
if I could,
whatever color that is, I don't know what color that is. That like teal or whatever that is.
Whatever, yeah.
They just look so awesome.
I need a Ja Morant old school Grizzlies jersey. Need.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's very good. Very exciting to watch. Hopefully he heals up, gets that knee right for this season.
Him and Jaren Jackson, who just had surgery.
So what do we think Memphis ends up next year in the standings? Morgan, your
I
beloved
still think
Memphis
they're
Grizzlies.
top 4.
Top 4. I think so too. They made some nice moves. They got the kid from Philly, right? What's his name? They got a kid from Philly. It's like a good 2-way player. So that's good.
I think they'll be fine.
While we're on the rookie extensions, Zion maxed out from the Pelicans. You have to do it.
You don't actually.
I don't think.
No.
I disagree with it.
You do. You're the New Orleans Pelicans. How often are you going to be able to retain talent, even though we can't stay on the court?
Well, they get a top 5 pick. It feels like every year, so quite often actually.
I mean, how often have they've hit twice on those with Anthony Davis?
Squandered Anthony Davis.
They've hit once.
Well,
Zion has played like as.
You know what? Sell all your Zion stock. I'll buy it. I'm going to buy low on Zion. I think he has a monster year coming up.
Well, I mean, he's got the fucking floor, so he can only go up.
I think it's like a mid-20s and 10 season. I think he has a good year back. He's looking good, man. He's looking skinny. He's looking slim and trim.
Yeah, until he gets on the road and starts eating like shit again, and he balloons up.
Yep.
You gotta be so negative. But that's fine. You know what? Fine. Be negative as you want. I'm buying all the Zion stock.
I mean, we can only base it off of what we've seen,
when he's
Which isn't much.
which is nothing. Yeah.
when he's an all-star this year, you guys can eat shit.
He'll be an all-star just because the fans like him.
Yeah, it's fan voting. It doesn't fucking matter. Fernando Tatis was going to be an all-star this year. He hasn't even set foot in the baseball field.
Hey, don't talk about my voting process, okay?
That's maybe
ridiculous.
So funny.
Of course, he'll be an all-star because he's a name.
I mean, he hasn't been an all-star yet, so
because he hasn't fucking played.
Earned it.
Okay, I think he earns it this year by having mid-20s in 10 season, and I think the Pelicans make the playoffs again.
That dude's gonna eat more 20 pieces than he picks up on a basketball court.
All right, I'm moving on. John Wall signs with the Clippers.
Cool.
I think the Clippers win the West next year.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm dead serious.
Oh my god.
You think they win the whole West?
Yep.
Jesus. And they were where last year? 9th?
Yep.
They're not even going to be a top 5 team in the West.
They didn't have Kawhi last year all year rehabbing. They didn't have Paul George all year, basically, last year. They still made the play-in.
A lot.
Yeah. Year off, I think they're both going to come back healthy. I got
3 fragile players that they're relying on.
I don't think they're really relying on John Wall. I think this is a buy low and low risk, low risk, high reward.
I mean, between Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, they're going to average like 35 points. That's 35 coming from Kawhi Leonard.
I think they win the West. I think Kawhi's back. I think he's the best two-way player in the league.
Hoping they don't make it
over the Suns, over the Mavs, over the Warriors.
Yeah, 100%.
I think you're fucking bananas, insane right now.
Okay.
All right, if Durant goes to the Suns, does that change it?
No.
So you think the missing piece for the Clippers winning the entire West is
John
Wall?
No, I think the missing piece. I think the missing piece for the Clippers was health this year. They have a very deep team. They got a lot of experience this year. They have like deep on the wings. They got Kennard. They got Terrence Mann. Like it's
Luke Kennard.
Kennard. He's good. Go look at his stats.
He can shoot.
And he's a big body. He's able to play defense. And now you get to put Reggie Jackson where he belongs as the 6-man backup point guard.
October.
They are
he plays baseball.
They are a deep team. They're going to be better than you guys think.
Sure.
Listen.
I don't think they're going to be that great. So yeah, probably. But
they're not going to be better than Denver. They're not going to be better than Golden State. They're not going to be better than Phoenix. They're not going to be better than Memphis.
They're not going to be better than. They're not going to be better than. Yeah. No.
I'll tell you right now, wherever they end up in the standings, it doesn't matter as long as they get past the play-in, which they will.
I've heard this so many times about LeBron James teams.
They're not going to win the West. They're not going to be better than the Mavericks.
Okay.
They're probably not going to be better than the Jazz.
Wow, they'll be
Jazz
better.
are done. I got to win the West. Early prediction.
Psycho move.
And I reserve it if one of them gets hurt to take back my pick.
It's locked in already. Sorry.
But yeah, I got the Clippers winning the West. I think they're going to be nasty next year. All right. Speaking of Rudy Gobert, I'm just kidding. Rudy Gobert gets traded to the T-Wolves. T-Wolves making some moves. They now have Rudy. They got Cat. And then they got Anthony Edwards and D'Angelo Russell still, which is like whatever. But what do we think this puts Minnesota in the playoff standings?
I'm looking at him in 7th last year.
6th.
7th.
They might have gotten a little bit better, but
yeah, I don't. The West is tough.
Now Cat doesn't have to play defense anymore.
True. Cat's probably also going to average like 35 this year.
He'll have a good year. So I mean, and the thing is with Rudy is like you don't have to score either. We're not asking you to score. We're just asking you to play defense. I mean, is Steph Curry gonna get him switched onto him and spin him like a dreidel? Yeah, of course. But that's that's one of my favorite things. I mean, it especially for Rudy Gobert. Dude, if this past season, if Russell Westbrook put a dunk down and put his nuts on your forehead, I don't know if you're.
He's a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year.
3-time.
Or 3-time, whatever.
Disgusting, dude. Makes me literally want to vomit in my mouth. The analytics, his screen assists are so good.
I mean, they'll give that defensive player of the year to anybody.
By the way, shout out to Brian Windhorst, by the way, for calling this happening. Did you guys see his 2-minute thing on First Take?
No.
I gotta find it on Twitter. And because he calls Utah making these moves, which I do want to talk about if we think Donovan Mitchell is going to be on the move. But Wendy, like, you guys have obviously seen Game of Thrones. And Varys, like the spider, like the way like he was like moving his hands, he goes, there was a very interesting trade, right? 5 minutes before the Kevin Durant news broke. And he like goes into like this detailed thing. He's like, Royce O'Neal from the Utah Jazz, one of their best two-way players, was traded to Brooklyn for a future first-round pick for nothing. What does that mean? He like had the people on First Take, like it was he had him on a string, and he's like, I think the Utah Jazz are going to be making moves here. They're a team to look out for. Next day, Rudy Gobert gets traded. So shout out Brian Windhorst, who's been LeBron's confidant for years and now doing his thing on ESPN. So good for him. That was really funny and memeable. So I'll send that to you guys after we get done. All this, like, we can say all this, like, I could spew my bullshit about the Clippers, and we can all think that things are going to end up a certain way. It's all about health, So
I mean, I'm just going to agree with you that you called it bullshit. So,
hey man, I'm being honest with myself.
I mean, I'll give you my fucking Western Conference preview too. It's the Warriors. The Warriors are going back to back.
They're not going back to back. I'll tell you right now, if Middleton is healthy and they beat the Celtics, Milwaukee runs through the Warriors in the finals. Runs through them.
I don't think so.
You know what, Morgan? I hope the Warriors get back. And I hope they do get back. And I hope Giannis is sitting there waiting for him right there. And I hope he just fucking dominates them. Just absolutely pushes their shit in. And then I just get to be like, oh,
Something LeBron couldn't do, so.
Did it once. He's got a ring legacy-wise that means more than like 90% of rings in NBA history.
That's not a fucking thing. They are all the fucking same.
No, they're not.
No, they're not. You think Kevin Durant's 2 rings are the same?
Yeah, because they're still a fucking championship. The fuck we talking about?
It's not the same. It's not the same. Kobe's last 2 rings mean more than the first 3.
To him.
To the general population.
There's still 5 rings in total.
There is 5 rings in total, and two times he was the best player on his team.
There's not one ring to rule them all. They are all the same.
I respectfully disagree. When you beat the greatest regular season team of all time in the finals, coming back from 3-1, that is the ring to rule them all.
Shouldn't have been down 3-1. That's your fault. You want credit for being down 3-1? That's bullshit.
Yes. A fucking head start.
Come on. Gave you a head start and just absolutely came back and annihilated them. God,
it was a thing of beauty.
Just those last 2. This is why I just want like LeBron and Kyrie to get back together. Just that last block and then that inside out step back 3. Right in Steph's face to just absolutely
bring Chris Bosh back too and risk him dying out on the floor.
No, why would you say such a thing?
You want to get the band back together, Chris Bosh?
No, I want Kevin Love. Kevin Love just got married. Congratulations to Kevin Love. You look like a beautiful wedding, by the way. All the boys were back together, minus Kyrie. It's all right. Kyrie's doing his thing. All right. I'm being dumb here. We got a couple more things to follow up here with the NBA. You really put Otto Porter on this list like he's important?
It was early. It was all the early signings. Jesus.
Listen, you gave me shit about coming down to a
I almost put Wilt. Would have been better if I put Wilt Chamberlain Jr.
Yes, that would have been much better because it would have gave me a laugh. Bradley Beal signs a Supermax with the Wizards. Does he finish his career in Washington? I say no.
Looks like why would you? What in God's green earth would you fucking sign with the Wizards?
Well, I mean, to get the most money, then demand a trade a year later. That's what you call playing both sides. Look at Kevin Nick like that reference. I mean, the thing is he's just going to demand a trade next year when they stink.
But he won't have a choice then. He had a choice to go sign anywhere.
Yeah, but make less money, Morgan. You're not understanding. These NBA players can just sign an extension with their team and then demand a trade a year later. Look at Kevin Durant. And the franchise is going to bow down to them and do it because they don't want to have star players fear in the future that I'm not going to sign with Washington. They won't trade me if I want out. Is it right? No, but that's just today's NBA. Jeff Van Gundy.
Oh no, he loses $30 million to go play somewhere where he actually wants to play.
That's right. Really quick, so I just pulled the Mark Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy line. Out of this three here, because we got the booth, Mike Breen, Jeff Van Gundy, and Mark Jackson. Who's who?
I'm Mark Jackson. You're Mike Breen.
Is Nick Jeff Van Gundy?
Nick's Jeff Van Gundy.
Nick just sitting there like this. That's the greatest basketball player I've ever seen in my life. That was Jeff Van Gundy talking about the block.
Isn't Jeff Van Gundy the one who just like absolutely despises watching basketball?
Yes.
Yeah, that's me.
I nailed it to a T. Like
Every time I watch him call a play where he's just like so stupid.
Talking about like the refs and stuff. He's like, this foul.
Yeah.
Like,
And I'm just like,
so
I completely agree.
every time I see Jeff Van Gundy, I just have the picture in my head of him hanging onto Patrick Ewing's leg as Patrick Ewing's like trying to fight somebody.
I just love his calls whenever there's a foul that's like not a foul, and he's just like, "Are we kidding?"
He's like, oh, come on. Like,
This is so ridiculous.
Because Jeff Van Gundy was 90s basketball, so it was all like, hard contact sport basketball.
I just love the fact that they keep somebody around that absolutely hates what they're watching.
So there's a podcaster.
He's the voice of reason.
There's a podcaster that I like to listen to, Trill Withers. And he literally says this about the NBA media. He goes, nobody in the NBA media likes the NBA. And it couldn't be more true.
It's Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
Star Wars fans hate Star Wars. It's just true.
Makes sense. All makes sense. All right.
All of it.
Enough NBA stuff, right? I didn't miss anything. We didn't miss anything.
DiVincenzo was the only other thing.
Oh, yeah. The Warriors get better. Shocker. Hey, you guys did lose GP2, though.
Oh, no.
What are they going to do?
I hope Durant ends up in Portland. Sick. All right. Morgan, I want your picks for UFC. I'm going to start at the bottom for the main card, and then I'm going to work my way up.
All right.
O'Malley versus opponent.
You know who I'm taking there. The Sugar Show. All fucking day. First round knockout. It's coming.
First round.
Is he going to hit the fadeaway?
Oh, he always hits the fadeaway. He hits the walk away knockout and then hits the fadeaway. It's one of my favorite fucking celebrations there is.
I mean, it's pretty awesome. He is very good.
His hair's pink today. He unveiled it at the weigh-in last night.
Does
Has
Nick
it been pink?
Nick hates?
No,
sometimes it's rainbow.
He changes his hair color every fight.
I don't like that dude. I don't know what it is about him. It just rubs me the wrong way.
Nick and Coco B. Charles, the same.
Don't care for him. Sorry.
Speaking of Coco B, we got to get him back on the show soon. I got some interesting interview questions to ask that you guys may not know. He doesn't know if he wants to pursue boxing or MMA. Been having a couple boxing fights. The weekend we're down in Atlanta. He's fighting on never mind. I'll say it off stream.
All right.
Or off live. Hopefully he's fighting in that card, so that'll be sick. All right, moving on. Robbie Lawler versus his opponent.
Barbana.
Yeah.
I don't know. Barbana's an up and comer. Lawler's getting up there.
But it's a name I know, so I know he's old.
It's true. I do think Robbie gets him on the ground and does work him on the ground and probably wins by decision, would be my guess.
All right. So this is our first championship fight of the night. Volansky versus Holloway. Volkanovski. Sorry.
Boom.
As much as I love Max Holloway, Volkanovski is he's a guy that nobody can beat in that division. He's 24-1. I don't see him losing. He's an absolute beast. I love Max, but I think Volkanovski gets it done. Whether it's on the ground or stand up, he can do both.
Nice. All right. Last one you have listed here. We have Izzy versus opponent. Who will be the champ? Is it going to be the remaining?
I don't know.
Or the returning?
My gut is telling me to take Cannonier. I don't know what it is.
Drake put $1 million bet on Izzy, and I don't like that bad juju.
I don't know. Izzy's he's so hard to beat because he's just so technically advanced.
Yeah,
than
100%.
anybody in the division. But Cannonier is just a tough son of a bitch. I don't know. My gut wants to go Cannonier. I mean, I'll take Izzy, but I want Cannonier to win because I like him a lot. But
Hey, when can we drink some shoeies again? That's all I'm asking.
when's Tate's next fight? I don't even know when his next fight is.
I mean, his fans are getting thirsty.
I think he just had surgery.
What?
I like to hear that.
You fucking
Yeah,
kidding
I
me?
thought he had surgery after his last fight, and that's why he hasn't been fighting.
It's been too long since I've taken a shoey on this show. He's got to come back.
I'll look it up.
You can send it to the group.
We got a fight. That's when we're down there. We got a fight too.
We do. We'll have Usman. We'll probably go out for that, I'm assuming, right?
I mean, we'd have to.
Yeah. All right. Nick, your question, then we can get out of here. Unless you guys have anything else that we forgot to cover.
He wants Stipe in July?
Like that. Maybe throw that one on the August card.
Throw it to August.
So we may be getting him here this month, maybe next month.
Well, that would be
This month.
incredible.
If it hasn't been booked yet, maybe it will be August. Maybe. I don't know. Quick little 6-week camp for the boys. Get ready, you know. I'm on a 6-week camp right now, getting ready to, get down to Atlanta, May or may not be coming out of retirement. I don't know,
Just gonna see me with a Bud Light in hand, my shoe up going.
Yeah, Morgan, it'll be interesting when you pick me and Nick up from the airport, by the way. I got us seats next to each other for the way down, so.
Oh boy.
Boom.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna stop in the airport somewhere. Grab a quick swizz or something.
In and out, get in the car, get to the hotel. Boom.
Boom.
All right, Nick, your question.
All right, my question's a weird one. I'm gonna start getting weird with them.
Hey, get as weird as you want.
Just some thinkers.
Okay.
All right. If you could shoot out a video into space to show why sports here are important, which sports moment would it be?
Kidding me? I already talked about it earlier, the 2016 NBA Finals.
But what context does that hold for our planet?
I mean,
Perseverance,
yeah.
obviously. The will to win.
The will to win, the heart of a champion.
Yep.
Look at Morgan, he's disgusted.
Morgan, do you have an answer?
I would probably say, I don't know, like any of the FIFA World Cup finals, because you can see like how much a country comes together around their world team, and especially in soccer, which is such a
Really good answer, Morgan.
a sport that is loved everywhere in every country.
Beautiful.
A particular sports moment or just like any FIFA game?
I don't know, probably either Brazil winning or I don't have a specific one.
I mean,
Definitely not Brazil losing, right? We just don't want to shoot these guys images of people getting hit with bricks.
I will say this one from Morgan though, the Barry Bonds record-breaking home run. That's pretty good. Like if that was to like go out and like you could like see the stands like losing their absolute fucking mind. That's a good one.
I mean, the ball's probably out there too, so because Barry just hit moonshots.
I see what you did there. That was good.
And you could, and obviously you guys give us answers.
Nick, what's your answer?
Add some context.
What's your answer?
I think I would maybe go with the Jesse Owens Olympics.
Okay, it's a good one.
It's important.
Yeah, your guys' answers just absolutely put me to shame.
Yeah, well, stop picking fucking LeBron James for every fucking answer.
Never. I got a picture that's going to be going right up there.
I think Mike Piazza's home run, giving context,
After
hitting that home run in New York. That was important.
I mean,
George, or you could just put George Bush throwing out the first pitch.
yeah,
that was big too.
Yep. And then that same year, Robert Kraft saying, "Today we're all Patriots." You know what I mean? What a time.
There are moments when sports
We're pretty cool.
earns its keep, I think.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'll never forget the imagery of Vinatieri hitting that kick and the Patriots players like running onto the field like, holy shit, we just beat like the best team and won a Super Bowl. Like, I remember Antoine Smith, 32, the running back, like losing his mind running onto the field. So.
Or, you know, you could just be like, you know what? Fuck it, this planet blows, and just show the video of Don Zimmer running at Pedro Martinez and be like, there's no
I mean, I got a second part of this question. What is the one video that you would not send out about sports? Malice in the Palace?
That's a bad one. That we would not send out.
The Don Zimmer
Like,
one's pretty good.
we're keeping that one to ourselves.
Yeah, the Don Zimmer one's pretty good.
What has been like the most disrespectful shit that's happened in a sporting event? Mike Tyson biting his ear is pretty bad.
Yeah, biting ears. And then you got like people rioting at soccer games.
Tanya Harding, that whole thing.
Yeah, that's no bueno.
Lance Armstrong cheating.
Allegedly.
I don't know if it's allegedly. Bother me at all.
I mean, here's my argument against that. The dude basically took steroids to make the playing field even. You know what I mean? Like,
but everybody's on steroids. It's fucking cycling, and it's cycling. So who gives a shit?
That's Lance Armstrong's nut. Yeah, the one that got taken out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man.
I could fucking care less who takes steroids. I don't give a shit. If you just made it an option for everybody, then nobody can complain that the other person's doing better because they're on steroids. Just level the playing field. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Getting paid millions of dollars to destroy your body for me anyway. Why not go the full yard? I don't give a shit.
Could not agree more.
Couldn't care less. Destroy your body.
I think that is it for the SOS podcast this week. We don't know what's coming next week. We will get to Oscar Pistorius or however his name is.
I think it's Pistorius.
We gave you like 2 extra weeks and you still haven't learned how to say this man's name.
Nope. And I'm not going to learn.
He hasn't gotten past the opening credits of the documentary.
No.
I haven't even watched it.
Listen, I got 13 minutes in, okay?
It's Pistorius.
I'm going to call him just a Blade Runner. Eat shit.
I think that's why they made that. So people like you didn't have to figure out how to fucking say
people like me. Huh? All right, I'm getting out of here. Morgan, you got any teams to root for?
Nah, I got nothing.
All right.